Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious refers to the deepest and most fundamental part of the human psyche that is shared by all individuals across cultures and throughout history. According to Jung, the collective unconscious is a reservoir of universal symbols, archetypes, and primordial images that are inherited and present in the unconscious mind of every human being. Unlike the personal unconscious, which contains an individual's repressed or forgotten experiences, the collective unconscious is composed of innate and instinctive patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that are common to all human beings. These universal patterns are not learned or acquired through personal experiences but are instead inherited as part of the collective heritage of the human species. Jung believed that the collective unconscious is formed by the cumulative experiences of our ancestors and represents a shared reservoir of wisdom and knowledge. It is a source of creativity, inspiration, and spiritual insights that can manifest in dreams, myths, fairy tales, religious symbols, and cultural practices. Jung believed that by exploring and integrating the contents of the collective unconscious, individuals could gain a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them. The process of individuation, which involves integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the self, is seen as a journey towards wholeness and self-realization. Archetypes, as proposed by Carl Jung, are universal, symbolic patterns or images that are present in the collective unconscious and are shared by all individuals regardless of culture or personal experience. Archetypes represent fundamental aspects of the human psyche and serve as templates for understanding and organizing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Jung believed that archetypes are inherited and present in the unconscious mind of every human being. He viewed them as innate, instinctual structures that shape our psychological experiences and provide a framework for understanding the world. Archetypes are not learned or acquired through personal experiences but are instead part of the collective heritage of the human species. The presence of archetypes in the unconscious is a result of what Jung called archetypal inheritance. This inheritance refers to the transmission of symbolic patterns and structures across generations, forming the foundation of the collective unconscious. Archetypes emerge from the collective experiences and accumulated wisdom of our ancestors, and they represent universal themes and motifs that recur in myths, religions, dreams, and cultural expressions. Jung identified several primary archetypes that are particularly significant and pervasive in human psychology. These include anima or animus, representing the feminine and masculine aspects of the psyche, the shadow, representing the darker, repressed aspects of ourselves, the mother, the hero, the wise old man, and many others. Archetypes are often personified in myths, fairy tales, and religious stories. For example, the hero archetype can be seen in the mythological figures of Hercules or Odysseus, while the mother archetype is represented by nurturing and protective figures like Mother Mary or Earth goddesses. Archetypes are not consciously perceived but influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in profound ways. They can manifest in dreams, fantasies, creative expressions, and even in our relationships and interactions with others. When we encounter archetypal images or symbols, they evoke deep, instinctive responses and resonate with our collective human experience. By becoming aware of archetypes and their influence on our lives, individuals can gain insight into their own psyche and better understand the underlying motivations, desires, and conflicts that shape their behavior. Integrating and working with archetypes is a central part of Jungian psychology and the process of individuation, which aims for the development of a more balanced and whole sense of self. Universal symbols, as conceptualized by Carl Jung, are archetypal images, motifs, or patterns that hold consistent meanings and evoke similar responses across different cultures and societies. They tap into deep, primal aspects of the human psyche and resonate with individuals on a profound level. Jung proposed that universal symbols are inherited and present in the unconscious mind of every human being through the mechanism of the collective unconscious. Just as physical traits and characteristics are inherited through genetics, Jung suggested that psychological and symbolic patterns are also inherited through what he called psychic heredity. Archetypes, which are the organizing principles of the collective unconscious, are responsible for the manifestation of these universal symbols. They shape and influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in ways that are beyond our conscious control. When individuals encounter universal symbols in their dreams, fantasies, or cultural artifacts, they tap into these archetypal patterns that are deeply embedded in the collective unconscious. For example, symbols like the sun, the moon, water, snakes, or circles often carry universal meanings across cultures, representing concepts such as life, transformation, and wholeness. The presence of universal symbols in the unconscious mind of every human being suggests a shared psychological and symbolic framework that transcends cultural boundaries. They provide a common language of the psyche that enables individuals from different backgrounds to connect and resonate with similar ideas and experiences. Primordial images, also known as archetypal images, are deeply ingrained, universal representations or symbols that arise from the collective unconscious and are present in the unconscious mind of every human being. These images are fundamental and transcendental in nature, reflecting essential aspects of the human experience. Primordial images are archetypal in the sense that they embody universal themes, motifs, or patterns that are shared across cultures and have persisted throughout history. They are deeply rooted in the collective human psyche and reflect fundamental human experiences, emotions, and desires. The inheritance of primordial images occurs through the collective unconscious, which is formed by the cumulative experiences and wisdom of our ancestors. Primordial images often manifest in dreams, fantasies, myths, and artistic expressions. They can take the form of powerful symbols, motifs, or archetypal figures that evoke deep emotional responses and resonate with individuals on a profound level. Examples of primordial images include symbols like the tree of life, the wise old man, the serpent, the cosmic mother, and the divine child. These images tap into our primal and instinctive nature, connecting us to our shared humanity. They reflect universal themes such as birth, death, transformation, the search for meaning, and the longing for connection and wholeness. The presence of primordial images in the unconscious mind of every human being suggests that they are part of our collective psychic inheritance, accessible to all individuals regardless of cultural or personal background. They provide a common symbolic language that allows us to connect with and understand profound aspects of the human experience that transcend individual differences. By exploring and engaging with primordial images, individuals can gain insight into the deeper layers of their psyche, unravel hidden meanings, and foster personal growth and self-realization. Innate and instinctive patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are universal aspects of human nature that are shared by all individuals. These patterns arise from our biological and psychological makeup and are not dependent on specific cultural or environmental factors. While there may be variations in the expression or emphasis of these patterns across cultures, the underlying principles are considered common to all human beings. Here are a few examples. Survival instincts. Humans, like other animals, possess innate survival instincts that drive behaviors aimed at ensuring their well-being and avoiding harm. These instincts include the fight-or-flight response, the drive for self-preservation, and the instinctual need for food, water, and shelter. Emotional responses. There are basic emotional responses that are universally experienced. For instance, joy, fear, anger, sadness, and surprise are emotional states that are recognized across cultures. While cultural factors can influence how emotions are expressed or interpreted, the underlying emotional experiences themselves are considered innate and instinctive. Social bonding. Humans have an inherent need for social connection and bonding. It is natural for individuals to seek relationships, form social groups, and engage in social interactions. This instinctive pattern of seeking social bonds serves various purposes such as cooperation, support, and emotional well-being. Parental care. The instinctive pattern of parental care is common among humans. The caregiving and protective behaviors exhibited by parents towards their offspring, as well as the attachment bond formed between parents and children, are considered innate and universal patterns. Curiosity and exploration. Humans have an innate drive for exploration and learning. From infancy, individuals display curiosity about their environment, a desire to understand and make sense of the world, and a natural inclination towards acquiring new knowledge and skills. It's important to note that while these patterns are considered innate and instinctive, their expression and development can be influenced by individual and cultural factors. The interplay between nature and nurture shapes how these patterns manifest in each person's life. Carl Jung believed that the collective unconscious is a source of creativity, inspiration, and spiritual insights for several reasons. Access to universal symbolism. The collective unconscious contains a vast repository of universal symbols, archetypes, and primordial images that are shared by all human beings. These symbols tap into deep and timeless aspects of the human psyche, transcending individual experiences. By connecting with these universal symbols, individuals can tap into a wellspring of creative and inspirational material that resonates with people across cultures and time. Transpersonal experiences. Jung considered the collective unconscious as a dimension of the psyche that extends beyond the personal ego and connects individuals to something greater than themselves. Through accessing the collective unconscious, individuals can experience what he termed transpersonal or numinous experiences, which are moments of profound awe, wonder, and spiritual significance. These experiences can fuel artistic and creative endeavors, providing inspiration and deeper insights. Archetypal patterns and collective wisdom. The archetypes and patterns found in the collective unconscious represent the accumulated wisdom and experiences of countless generations. Jung believed that these archetypes carry within them the accumulated knowledge, insights, and transformative potential of the human species. By engaging with these archetypal patterns, individuals can tap into this collective wisdom, gaining access to new perspectives, creative ideas, and spiritual insights. Integration of unconscious material. Jung saw the exploration and integration of unconscious material, including the contents of the collective unconscious, as a vital aspect of personal growth and individuation. By delving into the depths of the unconscious, individuals can bring forth hidden aspects of themselves, reconcile inner conflicts, and develop a more complete and integrated sense of self. This process can lead to increased creativity and spiritual awareness. Synchronicity. Jung also proposed the concept of synchronicity, which suggests that meaningful coincidences and connections can occur between the inner world of the psyche and the external world. He believed that the collective unconscious plays a role in synchronistic events, where seemingly unrelated occurrences align in a meaningful way. These synchronicities can act as sources of inspiration, creative breakthroughs, and spiritual insights. Overall, Jung viewed the collective unconscious as a profound and transformative dimension of the human psyche, intimately connected to the realms of creativity, inspiration, and spiritual exploration. By engaging with its contents, individuals can tap into a deep well of creative potential and gain access to transformative insights that can enrich their lives. The manifestations of the collective unconscious in dreams, myths, fairy tales, religious symbols, and cultural practices are ways in which the universal symbols, archetypes, and primordial images emerge and find expression. Here's how they can manifest in each of these domains. Dreams. Dreams are a direct pathway into the unconscious mind, including the collective unconscious. Dream imagery often contains symbolic elements that reflect universal themes and archetypal patterns. For example, dreams may feature archetypal figures like the wise old man or the shadow, or they may contain symbols representing transformation, rebirth, or the union of opposites. Analyzing and interpreting dreams can provide insight into the deeper layers of the psyche and access the wisdom of the collective unconscious. Myths. Myths are ancient narratives that depict archetypal motifs and symbols. They are shared stories that have been passed down through generations and across cultures. Myths often revolve around universal themes such as creation, heroism, love, and the struggle between light and darkness. They embody the collective wisdom and experiences of humanity, expressing archetypal patterns and providing guidance, moral teachings, and a sense of meaning and purpose. Fairy tales. Similar to myths, fairy tales are symbolic narratives that convey universal themes and archetypal patterns. They often feature archetypal characters like the hero, the villain, or the wise old woman. Fairy tales touch on fundamental human experiences such as personal transformation, overcoming adversity, and the journey towards self-discovery. They offer psychological insights and moral teachings that resonate across cultures and time. Religious symbols. Religious symbols and rituals draw upon the collective unconscious to convey profound spiritual and transcendent experiences. These symbols can represent archetypal figures, such as gods and goddesses, and embody universal themes like birth, death, resurrection, and enlightenment. Religious practices and ceremonies tap into the collective unconscious, creating a space for individuals to connect with the divine and experience a sense of unity with something greater than themselves. Cultural practices. Cultural practices, traditions, and customs often reflect and reinforce archetypal patterns and universal symbols. For example, rites of passage ceremonies, rituals surrounding birth and death, and seasonal celebrations draw upon collective unconscious elements. These practices provide a sense of belonging, reinforce shared values, and tap into the deeper layers of the human psyche. In each of these manifestations, the collective unconscious serves as a wellspring of symbolic material, providing a rich source for storytelling, spiritual exploration, and the transmission of cultural values and wisdom. They enable individuals and societies to connect with fundamental aspects of the human experience and access the profound insights and transformative power embedded within the collective unconscious.